Hi everyone, my name is Elliot Mondry. Welcome to my demonstration speech on how to deadlift. Webster defines the deadlift as a weightlifting exercise in which you bring weight from the floor up to your hips. Now, this is an example of somebody performing a deadlift. This is 365 pounds, and most likely people aren't going to be deadlifting that much weight in real life. It's not practical, and it's just a lot of weight to be lifting. But you might have to be lifting up a case of water once or twice in your life. And it's essentially the same thing as a deadlift. So equipment. Equipment that you're going to need to deadlift include a barbell, weights, lifting straps, a lifting belt, chalk, and flat-soled shoes. Now, use flat-soled shoes instead of running shoes because flat-soled shoes give you a flatter, more stable surface to push off on, whereas running shoes are more like lifting on a mattress. It's just very wobbly, very shaky, and is more prone to injury. So, technique for deadlifting. There are two different ways you can deadlift: a more narrow, conventional stance, and a much wider sumo stance. But today, I'm going to teach you how to do a conventional deadlift. So, first to start, you want to get your feet in a position in which you would jump. So if you're going to jump from this far, that's how far apart you should have your feet, because this is where you're going to be the strongest and be able to push off the most weight. So next, you're going to take this jumping stance and position your feet underneath the barbell. Then you're going to take both your hands facing downward and grip the bar just upside of your feet. This is called double overhand grip. Once you have the bar, you're going to sit back on your heels. You're going to look up, and you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together in order to keep your back flat. Then you're going to take a deep breath, drive your feet up, and then once your legs lock out, you're going to finish the lift by bringing your hips forward. Excuse me. From the side, it's jumping stance, put your feet under the bar, grab with the double overhand grip just outside your feet, sit back, bring your shoulder blades back, look up, take a deep breath, drive your legs up, and then once you get to the top of the lift, drive your hips forward. So at a certain point in your deadlifting career, you're going to be stronger than your grip. You're going to be able to lift more weight than you can physically hold. What do? Well, there are 5 things that you can do at this point. One is you can use chalk. Now with chalk, you just rub it on your hands, and then you clap your hands together, like so, in order to spread the chalk all throughout the crevices on your palms and your fingers. This creates friction and allows you to grip the bar more securely because there's no longer any sweat or perspiration on your hands. Next is you can use a mixed grip. Now, instead of a double overhand grip, a mixed grip has one hand facing upward and one hand facing downward. It doesn't matter which hand you have up or down, it's a personal preference. So it's a mixed grip. The bar was going to want to roll one way, and was going to want to roll one way or the other. But by having one hand facing up, one hand facing down, the bar no longer has anywhere to go. So the bar just stays in place. Next is hook grip. And if you don't value your thumbs, this is a great option. So instead of gripping the bar with double overhand grip, where you grip the bar with your fingers and then your thumb, you start by gripping the bar with your thumb, and then you wrap your fingers around your thumb. You do it with both hands, and this creates a hook around the bar and keeps the bar secure and stops it from moving. The problem with this, though, is that you crush your thumbs in the process. So if you feel like doing it, go for it, but it's not necessarily the best option. Next option is to use lifting straps. Now, lifting straps work similarly to hook grip. You just don't have to crush your hands. And chalk, in that it gives you more friction and gives you more stable surface to hold on to. So with lifting straps, you just wrap straps around the barbell, and then it allows you to lift the bar without having to rely on your grip or crushing your thumbs in the process. Lastly, you can use a lifting belt. Now, a lifting belt, typically you want to tighten so that way you can tighten the belt as tight as you can, so that way you can press your core out against the belt. However, I'm not going to tighten it right now because then I can't talk. But when you have a belt on, you want it tight enough so that way you can push your stomach into the bar to create additional abdominal pressure. By creating this additional abdominal pressure, you take pressure off your back during the lift and allow you to keep your back straight. So you're probably wondering, why should I deadlift? I don't want to be a bodybuilder, I don't want to be a power lifter, and I don't really have any aspirations to be. Well, good question. National Academy of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer David Hochbaum says that it's deadlifting allows you to have a stronger hips and create more power through your whole body. National Academy of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer Nicholas Amon says that by deadlifting you can strengthen the muscles in your body, increase the longevity of your skeletal and muscular system, as well as increase and better your posture. Finally, Dr. Disa Hatfield says that deadlifting is the one lift in the gym that can translate really well into real life scenarios, such as having to pick up a case of water, having to move furniture around your house, or having to pick up a baby. And it's for these reasons that I encourage you to deadlift and incorporate deadlifting into any weightlifting routine. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll accept questions at this time.
How often during the week should one deadlift?
People should deadlift only once a week, because this deadlifting is such a taxing lift that if you do it more, that your body needs the time to recover. So I recommend only deadlifting once a week. Yes.
Are there any possible injuries you can get from deadlifting?
There are many injuries that you can get from deadlifting. If you're deadlifting improperly, you can tear your quadricep, you can tear your hamstring, you can pull your groin muscle, you can accidentally drop the weight on your foot, you can pull something in numerous parts of your back. You can blow out a spinal disc, you can tear your bicep using a mixed grip, you can mess up your hands using a hook grip. There's numerous things that can go wrong with your deadlifting, but if you deadlift with proper form and you deadlift smart, you won't have any of these injuries.
So if you feel your form slipping while you're deadlifting, your back starts to round, should you continue to lift? What should you do?
If you feel yourself breaking form and you struggle to complete the lift, deadlift has a fail-safe where you just drop the bar. So injury is not worse completing the lift, so you just simply drop the bar. Yes?
Do you recommend doing a deadlift with another partner so they can watch you?
I do, because one, you can have a partner to push you and motivate you, so it might help you lift more weight, be more encouraged to lift, and also they can tell you if you're breaking form, what you should do differently, because they can see something that you probably can't feel.
If I'm just starting out, how much weight should I start out with?
Somebody just starting out deadlifting should increase weight incrementally based on how they feel they can progress with their strength. So you're not going to just jump weight, you're just going to go up incrementally until you feel like your form starts to break. Once your form breaks, work with weight less than that weight.
Well, how much do you recommend somebody starting out with? How much weight?
Again, that's a personal preference. You can start deadlifting with a 5-pound dumbbell, you can start deadlifting with a 90-pound barbell. It's really up to the individual.
Do you have to use dumbbells?
No, you don't have to use dumbbells. You can use a barbell, you can use a hex bar, you can use kettlebells, you can use a bucket full of sand if you want to deadlift. There's so many different variations and things that you can use in place of a barbell for a deadlift.
What grip do you recommend?
I can't recommend one grip over another because it's a personal preference. I don't enjoy using mixed grip or hook grip. I tend to use straps more often because I don't necessarily care about my grip strengths, so I use straps instead. But I recommend using a double overhand grip until you feel your grip failing. Once you feel your grip failing, then you use one of the other three options like hook grip, mixed grip, or straps.
You obviously look like you lift. How much do you deadlift? Sets, reps, etc.?
Maximum weight I can deadlift is 500 pounds, but sets, reps, it varies day to day based on how I'm feeling, based on what muscles are sore and how I felt during the week. I'll deadlift anywhere from 5 or less reps on most days, but usually if I'm not feeling well, I'll deadlift anywhere from 6 to 8 reps for more muscular hypertrophy, and sets usually 4 to 5 or 6 sets.
Do you incorporate deadlift into your weightlifting routine, or when you do deadlifts, do you only do deadlifts?
I incorporate deadlifts into my weightlifting routine on leg days. People can do deadlifts on to work their backs. People can do deadlifts to work their legs. But if you're a bodybuilder, you typically incorporate deadlifts as a main movement in a day, and then do accessory work. If you're a powerlifter, you'll have a day where you strictly deadlift, and that's it. So it depends on what your goals are and what you're training for. Yes.
Now, do you switch forms depending on what kind of muscles or what day it is per se, like leg day versus back day?
Yes and no. If you the sumo stance, the conventional stance is typically more back and hamstring dominant, whereas the sumo stance is more more quadricep and hip dominant, but both muscles still work your back. So it's just a personal preference. If you prefer a wider stance, you use a sumo stance. If you prefer a closer stance, you use conventional stance. Any other questions?